Hello everyone, so I've just finished another 28 figures in this army here, so I thought I'd put the whole lot together, show you what I've got so far. So these are Crann 28mm Jacobite Highlanders, and the ones you've seen before are the rear rank and these two bases on the left here of the front rank. And what I'm doing, as you probably know if you saw my previous video on this range, is I'm painting them up to represent different clans, and each clan is going to have a sort of base colour, and I'm using Wargames Foundry paints for the base colours. So the rear rank, which I've shown you entirely before, has a base colour of Wargames Foundry terracotta, and the front rank has a base colour of storm green. And I've completed that clan now, because I'm going to have 5 stand units to begin with, and then once I've got a number of units together, I'll add stands to various clans to make some larger, some smaller. But I thought 5 stands with 20 figures in was reasonable way to get going, and it'll get me going and get me up to a reasonable size army fairly quickly, hopefully. And then, as I say, I can add flags and banners and more stands to flesh out some of the clans, because they wouldn't have been all of equal size. And then the rank in the middle, which I've only got 4 stands for the moment, I've based in Wargames Foundry Butterfudge. And then to create the tartan or the plaid effect, I've been using watercolours, transparent colours, just painting lots of patterns and grid lines on them. And what happens is that the sort of transparent colours overlap and run into one another, so you get a kind of mix of tones and colours and so on, and it works pretty well. It's not perfect, but it looks alright from a distance. And in some cases the colour combinations work better than others as well. There's some that really jar a little bit, but I wasn't going to go back and repaint them. As I say, from a distance it looks pretty good. So let's just zoom in a little bit, give you a slightly closer look. Because a lot of them have weapons thrusting forward, I found it doesn't necessarily focus terribly well. So it wants to kind of focus on the shields and the projecting bayonets and so on, rather than the figures themselves. But anyway, here's the front rank, so the storm green colour. Those 2 there are the ones you've seen before. These are the ones that you haven't seen yet, and you may notice I've used a slightly different, well, not slightly different, a very different tufts on the bases. You can't see so well in this front rank, but if I turn this one around, so there's an example of a tuft that I used on that earlier base, and that is debris of war. But I spotted on Lee Hughes's channel, he'd just come back from holiday in Scotland, and he'd found these heather tufts by Tajima 1, who are based down in this part of the world, down in the southwest, I think they're in Redruth in Cornwall. And I really like the look of those, so I sent off an order and got some. So those 3 bases there, and the let's put another one in front here. The 4 centre ranks have all got these rather nice Tajima 1 heather tufts. They come in three different colours. There's this one which is a kind of mixed sort of colour, slightly sort of mauvey, I suppose you'd call it. I'm more into showing you the tufts than I am the figures at the moment, but you'll get to see both, I suppose, if I do it this way. There's a second colour which is a kind of pinker colour. And a third colour which is this blue. So I might have overdone it a little bit, but I was impressed by Tajima 1. I would recommend them, and I won't show you today, but I've bought some different kind of tufts for a different project, which are looking very promising as well. You know, on the subject of the caps, yes, I'm afraid I have painted them all the same colour. I mean, having started off painting them all the same colour, I mean, I'm really kind of obliged to keep going in that respect, although I accept they wouldn't all have been a uniform colour, but that is the way. They're often illustrated in books as being a uniform kind of blue, and I'm going to have I might do another video later on the subject of realism again. It's one of my recurring themes in my videos, realism in wargaming. But I think these figures really are highly kind of romanticised anyway. So I'm accepting that they're not realistically portrayed right from the get-go, and having done that, you know, I don't sort of mind so much if the bonnets are all unrealistically uniform blue as well. But yeah, you know, it's going to take me a little while. It does take a little while to paint tartan, but I'm quite pleased with the way things are going. I think of all the tartans effects that I achieved, I think that one there is my favourite. The guy with his sword over his shoulder and the sort of red and white kind of coloured tartan. I don't know when I'm going to be able to show that. That one. I like that figure the best as well. It's got a lot of movement in the figure. So that's my progress so far on my Jacobite Highlanders. Because I've got so many other projects on the go, I'm probably going to clear a space on my desk now for something else and get back to the Highlanders later in the year. But anyway, thought I'd just show you those. Thanks very much for watching, everyone. Bye for now.